Mom's Creative Moments, and I'm bringing you another in the series for my Hawaii vacation. Today we're going to use Tropic Time, but we're going to use, we're using a layout that was designed for Tropic Time, but we're using Serene Waters to create it. So let me show it to you. It should go together pretty quick and smoothly. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see what's in my workspace. All right, so I am going to be using my decorative trimmer today. If you have yours, go ahead and get that out. We are going to need it. I'm also going to be using these 3 sheets of paper from the Serene Waters collection. Wow, I don't know why that word just escaped me, but that was kind of crazy. And we're going to create a 2-page spread based on this 1-page spread that was designed for the Tropic Time collection that came out in early January. So bear with me today. Some of what we're doing is going to be of my own creation, and a lot of it is inspired from this particular layout that was put out by our Creative Memories blog creators who are super fantastic. Let me see if I can check and see who it was that put this particular one together. Sometimes it tells us, although I'm not really seeing anybody's name jump out at me. So I apologize to whomever at the home office created this one. It's really cool, and we're going to do it today. So let me just jump over here. I'm going to be using this one with the sort of inverted triangles, or it sort of looks like Christmas trees if you turn it this direction to me, a very faint pattern. But we're going to use it sideways, so like arrows pointing in that direction. These are going to be the extra little wave that goes as a decorative element on our page. And we're going to use these two kind of as the base sheets that are going to go underneath our photos onto our natural page. Let me show you how we're going to cut these, because we're going to cut both of them at the same time, and the reason is because we want to make sure that they are exactly the same. So let me set this to the side here and grab that picture just one more time. So do you see how the floral patterned paper here and the coral colored paper here meets exactly right here in the middle? Exactly. So in order to conserve paper, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut both of these pieces together, and we're going to use both of them on our 2-page spread. So we're going to, I'm going to pull this arm out. Do you ever use this arm on your decorative trimmer? I don't use it very often. It's kind of a little more difficult to get to fold out, and so I just don't use it. This being an old CM type of an item, it just doesn't work super well for me. I'm going to use this beautiful golden yellow paper that with the texture on it. It has these blue waves on the back, which I'm kind of sad to sacrifice the blue waves, but I love the yellow, and I need the brightness for this paper, for this page. So we could use this side, or we could use this side. And since I haven't used the fish scale looking side as much, we're going to use that on these pictures. And that's because the story that's going to go along with the photos that we're doing today is going to lend itself really well to having fish-oriented stuff to accent the page. So we need a portion of it. It looks to me like it's about roughly a 4-inch piece from the top swell of the swell. That this piece is about 4 inches. So I'm going to let's see, I'm going to look here and find, the tricky part about this trimmer is measuring, because the measurements along the side are just not super easily marked, since we have two different waves on here. So the swell of that short wave is marked at about 1.5 inches. So 4 inches from that would be 5.5 inches. And then we'll end up with a 4-inch piece. So 5.5 inches is right there. 5.5 inches. And I'm going to put my paper all the way up to the shoulder of my trimmer. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut all the way through both pieces with that short swell. All right, there we go. Now don't put this away yet. Actually, while we still have it out, we should go ahead and cut 2 pieces from our arrowed paper. And this paper has kind of a ribbonish back side to it. This one we're going to cut. We're going to cut right along the very edge of our arches, our swells, to make our first cut. And then we're going to move this about 1/2 inch. So we're going to move this up two grid marks to find the 1/2 inch mark. And then we're going to do that one more time. Too far. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, there we go. So those are the only cuts we need to make with the decorative trimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that back away real quick. Then I'm going to grab my pages and we'll get this laid out. And this page is on the back of our surfing page, which I think was the last thing that I had recorded for you guys. So just gonna set my photos a little bit out of the way for a minute. Stay there. Hopefully they won't come crashing down. Let me move this one a little bit because it's kind of longer. There we go. All right. Let's grab all of this so we can get this set up for you. Okay. Now, so according to the directions, we want this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here, like so. But you can really do it however you'd like. If you would prefer, you can, you know, switch the colors, or you can switch, you can flip-flop it and turn it around so that so this short edge is over here on this side instead of in the middle, which I think I actually might do because I kind of like that better. So I actually think what I'm going to do is I want I want the fish to be in the middle and the short side there. So we're going to just turn these over like this. Okay, so that way my edges still match and all is well. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my adhesive and we're going to go ahead and secure these down in place so that we can move on with the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and move this all the way to the jeeping on the outside and across the bottom edge. Like so. Now we're going to add some adhesive across the rest of this piece. I'm just realizing that I think I forgot to let my son know that we were recording down here. So hopefully, thank you. Emily's so good.
Hello, Internet.
I can hear him up there playing his video game, and sometimes he gets very wound up. Alright, so from the center jeeping, and even with the bottom of the page. And then we'll put this one down. There we go. And I love that since we cut it all at the same time, it just goes together perfectly like a puzzle. All right, and now this piece should be able to go right in front or behind that and be perfect. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our yellow because I like the stripe that the yellow makes with it. So let me grab my repositionable adhesive. Get that set on there. And it's just about 1/8 of an inch. It's not, not a huge amount, but it's enough that it lends some decorative flair to your page. Just like that. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to grab our green paper back and we're going to make a mat for our green paper. So you see how on our sample, they have a really nice large square mat and then these 4 equally sized photos inside. I don't have 4 equally sized photos because my photos are longer, but I did make them shorter. So I want to add 3 of my photos in a similar arrangement. So because of that, I'm going to add my photos to the paper, and then I'm going to cut my paper after I've added my photos. I hope that makes sense. Let me show you what I mean. So these are pictures of Hanauma Bay and Hanauma Bay. I'm not sure how it's actually said correctly, so please don't slay me in the comments if I'm saying it wrong. I just don't intend to. But these are, oops, hang on. This needs to be at the top corner, which is going to be this corner up here. So I'm just putting this roughly 1/8 of an inch from the edge of our paper, and we had a really great time just driving around this first day, and we drove essentially all around the western end of Oahu, and as we did that, we came across those surfers that were in the photos that I did last time. We kept driving and we found Diamond Head, and we went inside Diamond Head, but we were too late to be able to go hiking or anything, and they were having a private party, so the security people didn't really want us in there. So we kept driving and we came to Hanauma Bay, and we didn't drive down to the bay because we were told they limit the number of snorkelers down there. But Hanauma Bay is the area that Hawaii is known, or in Hawaii, that is known for the best snorkeling, the best array of colorful fish. And it is really a cool place. But if you want to snorkel there, you have to plan ahead because they only let so many people snorkel there on any given day in an effort to preserve the reef. So we didn't worry about trying to make an appointment or, getting in to actually do any snorkeling, but we were just kind of driving through, just sort of seeing whatever we could see from the highway. And so we learned, because we downloaded a really cool app where the guy can tell where we are located by GPS, and then we could listen to, as we came across certain points, he would tell us about the scenery, he would tell us about the other things that we were seeing, and we learned a lot. And this area is really well known for its fishing, which may seem a little unusual. But you can see it kind of best in this photo right here. Can you see these two kind of lagoons? There's one right here and there's another one right here. If I understood him correctly, the water from the ocean, which is out here, they would cut channels between these lakes and allow the fish to swim through the channels and these lakes to fill, or lagoons to fill up with water and fish, and then they would block block the channel and not allow the fish to escape. So then they could more easily obtain fish in these lagoons. And he told an interesting story I don't remember the details of now, about some carnivorous fish that got in there kind of by accident and sort of ruined their plan a little bit, because they kind of ate all of the fish in the fish hatchery, or in all the fish that were in the lagoon. And then they just had carnivorous fish, which I don't know if those are good to eat or not. Maybe someone else can enlighten me, but it didn't sound like a very good situation. Let's put it that way. I'm going to just trim this up just a little bit. This is a panorama that I created from 2 photos. And it looks like I didn't do a very good job cleaning that up either. I think I need to flip or not flip it, but get a new one. Give me just a second while I get a new matte strip. All right. That other matte strip was just had grooves in it. They were not cutting properly anymore. So thank you for your patience. Just going to take off that little tiny bit. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm actually going to take off a little bit more than that up here, because I just want the mountains. Don't necessarily need the sky, although it's pretty with all those fluffy clouds in it. I just don't have the space on this page. So we're gonna do like that. All right. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to put a sticker, a border sticker down. But as I was saying, because of the nature of the fishing stories that we were told, and because of the lagoon, this is a postcard that I bought, and this is the snorkeling area that Hanauma Bay is known for. You can see the reef and how beautiful it is, and understand why there would be fantastic fish located there. Anyway, so I was thinking that I would use some of these cute lily pads, because I need a border sticker to go up the side here, or maybe just on the other side. We don't have to do it on this side. We could scoot this over and add this guy in, and a journal box. Maybe that's what we'll do, so that I have a place to put the journaling. Okay. And this group of service members, I couldn't possibly tell you whether they were what service they worked for, just that they had really nicely kept haircuts, and they looked very very military. Were kind of following us on what looked like rented motorcycles. So And every place we stopped, they stopped. So that's why we figured they must be servicemen. This is a 12-inch sticker that came from the sticker pack from Serene Waters, and I'm just adding that up the side. And then I have this 5x7 that came from the area right outside of Diamond Head. To get to Diamond Head, you have to go through a tunnel, and the tunnel has a little pull-out parking area right in front of it. And this is not Diamond Head. This is a different volcano. You'll notice that this marker right here is showing a photograph of this island or these formations out here, and saying volcanoes rising from the sea and creating an island chain. These, I think, are inactive volcanoes out there, but let's see. It's some kind of a crater, is what it says on there. But though I did take that so I could read it later, I cannot read it, so I'm not helping myself very much. All right. Another thing I can do is go ahead and let's see. I can put a portion of this photo. I'm going to mat this photo and put a portion of it on here, and then we're going to need to cut another piece to fit it. Maybe it would be better to go ahead and cut or mat it going this way. And then maybe I can just leave that curve on the bottom just for kicks and giggles. And I can just cut a straight piece for the top. How about that? So what is that going to be? That's going to be a little over 7 1/4. So let's do like this. What do I need? I need 1 1/4 inches. I need 1 1/4 inches. So we're going to line that up with at 1 1/4 inches on the grid on the right hand side. And I'm using this to help me gauge the length of my cut. There we go. Except because of that arch, I think I have done myself, yep, I kind of goofed that up. Do you see that? Alright, well, this is what we can do then. I'm going to put an embellishment over that corner to cover that up, and all will be well. I have a peekaboo pocket which just has a little bit of the beach that was down in front just before we went up this hill right here, and then another photo showing the crater that's way out there. So those are, that peekaboo pocket will go on top of there. And I have some embellishments we can talk about. So let me get these put on here, mounted on here real quick. Then we can talk about the embellishing part of it. Okay, so I'm just going about roughly 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom and then just centering it. Since it's an irregular size, this lower photo. This one that we made a custom mat for is going to go up here, and I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch on the right hand side before the jeeping and about 1/8 of an inch before the photo on the bottom. And then this postcard, we could put this postcard inside a peekaboo pocket, and then that way we can still flip it over and see the other side. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right. Aha. This guy is going to go roughly 1 inch from the top, maybe more like 3/4 of an inch, and about the same distance from that border on the left hand side. This photo is going to go about 3/8 of an inch from the center, and an even distance between the lower part of that photo up there and the bottom of my page. Whew. This paper is kind of optically eluding. Makes it really hard to tell when something is level or not level. Strange. All right, now as far as embellishments go, I have these cute cattails and lily pads, which are kind of cool. I have an oar that says beach life. I have, this is a sign that says by the lake, but obviously this is not really a lake. So I was thinking I could turn it over and then color it brown maybe, and write Hanauma Bay on here. Another cattail. Here's some water that I cut off another mat. Here's some birds that I cut off another mat. A couple of other quick little journal box type things. If we want to use those. I don't think we're going to do that one. I don't think we're going to do that one, although we could cut it in half. Maybe we could do that one. If we use the cattails, I think that would be a really good idea. And we could write more of the story on one of these. We'll use the yellow, I think, just to pull a little more of that color in. And I don't know if we're going to need these or not. So let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. This is one of our 6-inch mats, so I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. That can be a cute little journal box for that side. Might add that yet. This, thinking maybe underneath this we could put that, and then the story would be underneath. In which case, we don't need this. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this little bit of a journal box, which will probably end up being a little bit more like a title piece. This guy's going to go right in here, slightly underneath and overlapping. And then I'm going to add these birds, just kind of offset just a little bit, just to, I don't know, just to add a little bit. Yeah. So just kind of going about halfway. So that this piece is halfway between this piece and the top of this. I hope that makes sense, decoratively speaking. I'm not going to use these, I don't think. I think those are going to go away. I'm going to mount this guy for journaling. Hold on. Need to make sure my birds are going the right direction. Okay, and then this one is going to go, keep the top edge even with the top edge of this piece, like so. And then this will be a peekaboo pocket that will go on there. Then let me grab some foam squares for these guys. Not sure what's going on. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and we're going to cut a couple of these foam squares into longer rectangles, like so, so that we can add that little bit to the cottontail and keep that cottontail standing up. Like so. And the grass too. I cut that apart, but it's still stuck together. Come on. There. This one needs to go here. Okay. Now we're going to add, I think this larger one is going to go down here. Like so. And then this one we'll put on the other side. So when I'm learning a little bit more about dealing with embellishments and planning for where you want your embellishments to go. Sometimes that's easier said than done, right? But we're just going to kind of put this guy right in the center here, like that. Now we could add the beach life, the oar, on there. Maybe kind of behind, like so. And this guy can go in there as soon as I get him put together. I don't know. I'm not sure I like this guy sideways. I may have to rethink how that goes on there. Let me go ahead and put this guy on though. This one I'm not going to put on until I can. Everything's falling over. Doggone it. Stay. Stay. This one I'm not going to put on until I get a chance to add some color and wording to him. But I think that's pretty much done. What do you think? It's a little bit of a hodgepodge in that, you know, I used some pieces parts here and there, but I think it came together pretty easy and pretty quick. And actually, much of our wavy design has covered up again, but you know, It depends on where you want your photos and how you want them to be, I guess. But one more down in our quest for getting Hawaii put together. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this has inspired you and given you some ideas to use in your own scrapbooks. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.